Yeah, so right now I'm in Nairobi. There's a lot of cultural shock that I'm seeing. Literally, Kenya is a beautiful country, I must say that. They shouldn't say that Uganda is the pearl of Africa. They should say East Africa is the pearl of Africa. And we should literally be like one block. I think like there's a move to make that happen. Because first of all I entered Kenya with my national ID. I got a SIM card with my national ID. So literally things are simple, and going through the border was like very very quick, like in a few minutes we're in and out, you know. So one of the things that are really gonna shock you, especially when you're coming from a country like Uganda, is the amount of organization in the streets of Nairobi. Like literally on arrival to Nairobi, like when the buses just enter the city, like you marveled by the infrastructure. Like there's so many skyscrapers, the roads are really really neat, like there are no potholes. I was like, what the hell is going on, man? And we're using Mashpoa, very comfortable bus. Oh my god, I've never sat in a very comfortable bus as the Mashpoa. It was so comfortable, like literally I felt like still continuing with the journey. Can you imagine a journey as long as this one, over 14 hours, and I was still comfortable?
Nairobi actually is a Masai name. Masai, they are the owners of Nairobi. It's called I don't know, like something mean place of cool waters, because they used to come from the plains and then you come with their cows to come and get where the cows can get water and everything. Now that's the basic origin of Nairobi.
So the other thing I would like to talk about is also the transport system in Nairobi. You know, there are so many options, about 4 to 5 options. But then let's go to the first, cheapest, and most efficient transport means in Nairobi. It is the Matatu. You know, so the Matatu is quite a crazy experience because first of all, okay, first things first, it's really really affordable. Really, it's the cheapest. You know, for a journey of about 500 meters or to 800, you can spend like 13 shillings, Kenyan shillings, which is about 1,000 Uganda shillings. I'm not sure, but that's how cheap it is. So that's something that was so unique to me in Nairobi. And the only downside to the Matatu is the loud music. Oh my god. It was crazy in the Matatu that I was seated with my friend and we were trying to talk and we couldn't hear each other. You literally had to stick your mouth like against your friend's ear to communicate. So that was crazy for me. I think that's the only downside, but I also appreciate it because it is what makes Nairobi unique. Because in Uganda, even at shops, people are playing loud music. In the streets, people are playing loud music, whether it's daytime or it's night, it's happening. But I must say in Nairobi, I walked around the streets and no one was blasting loud music. Oh, fanya content.
Mimi sio Gen Z.
What's your Gen Z? Content si wa Gen Z.
Hawa ndio wanapigana.
Hawa jamaa. Picha ya kuuza ama
Picha ya kukaa kwa nyumba. Piga picha wanakutumia kwa simu yako.
Alafu unalipa.
Hii ni Nairobi bana.
Nairobi ni safi sana.
Nairobi imeanza kuwa safi lakini sio safi vile.
Kwa nini?
Yaani tunajifundisha kukuwa wasafi wa Kenya pia.
Si wasafi. The bodabodas are really few in Nairobi, and yet looking back here at home, the bodabodas are so many. But I think it's a good thing to have like less bodabodas because Nairobi is not as congested, you know? And there's more respect to like traffic rules. But the thing is that the bodabodas there are quite expensive. In a place that the Matatu has taken you for 13 shillings, the bodaboda may take you for like 200 shillings. So the difference is outrageous, and if you're on a budget, I would advise just use a Matatu, you know. The other thing that I witnessed was the Bolt. Bolt is, as compared to like other apps for, you know, getting around, maybe Uber or These are the farasi, which are there. Bolt is most used in Nairobi. Because literally the price of the boda is almost the same as the boat. So why don't you just use the boat? You know? Also, it's okay to walk around Nairobi. As I told you, it is safe. So if you have time and you're just trying to get around from one building to the other, you may not need to like get a boda or a taxi. Because first of all, it's not crowded. It's easier to literally walk around Nairobi than many cities, you know. For me, literally when I was in Nairobi getting around, I mostly walked because it was more peaceful, it was quiet, there are few people on the streets, so I found it really effective and very nice walking around, you know. And it's good to walk around so that way you get to know more of the city, you know. You get to actually experience the city. Because if you're like always in the cars, you're always in the bodas, you may not actually get to learn about the city that much.
Geographically, Nairobi is it's like on a plane.
Flat, yeah.
It's flat. So, and on one side you have the Mount Kenya, Aberdare ridges. Then you have the Gong ridges. On the other side you have Machakos ridges. And then you have a small gap around a place called Kitengela. So actually Nairobi doesn't have a lot of natural defense barriers, because if an army was to attack from Tanzania, they would move to Nairobi through that corridor. And of course that's the animal corridor. We call it the animal wildlife corridor, because you have all the animals coming from Nairobi National Park going to Amboseli side, to Savo and beyond. So that's a brief story.
So Nairobi is close to Tanzania?
Yes, very, very close. We're talking of about Namanga is about how many kilometers? We're talking of less than 100 kilometers.
Really?
Yes.
Very close.
Arusha is about 160 kilometers. That's why it's very easy to come from Arusha to Nairobi every day.
Wakenya wataki kuwa safi.
Bana, hiyo nayo
Watasikia wewe unaongea hii.
okay.
Hii ni Masai Market.
Ndio hii. Leo inakuanga hapa. Ndio hii. Masai Market inakuanga hapa leo.
And in the Masai Market, you're going to find all these Afrocentric, there are the necklaces, there are the clothes, all these fabrics, you know, and this art and all that. So in the Masai Market, I was just amazed, you know, all these amazing African products. And there are so many people who are working here, and it's just gazetted for that, which was amazing, because that way you're promoting the culture, but also preserving it in a certain way. And here you're not going to only find like foreigners, because I found there Chinese, I found Caucasians, I found people from different countries, but also a lot of Kenyans were buying stuff. So you can get a bracelet, you can get a necklace, you can get clothes, like different designs of things. Even shoes, sandals, all that is there. It also shows us that Nairobi is built on Masai land. So it kind of maintains that kind of originality of where we are, you know. They are still representing the people of the Masai land, and just to appreciate, you know, these people have given us a whole place to have a city, and I really like that. That was established, and I hope they never take away the Masai market, you know. It brings us back to like, yeah, this is Africa, and we want to celebrate African art, we want to celebrate our own fabrics, and because these things are interwoven into our own cultures and DNA, you know. Like for us in Uganda, we have so many cultures and traditions, but every culture is synonymous with their kind of dress code. Like in Uganda, dress in back clothes, they dress in the kanzus, so it is something that identifies you.
Wewe Kenya kuko sawa. Waambiwa wakitembea Kenya bana. Wakuje kwa wingi bana. Kuna warembo wengi pia.
And the other things that I kind of saw is that there are so many like shopping malls, you know, and they're huge. So in Uganda here we have a few. We have Acacia Mall in Kampala. We have Forest Mall. We have have Arena Mall, but in Nairobi there's so many in there, really huge, you know. So right now we're just leaving Capital Center, one of the biggest malls here.
When you need expressway, these ones are like a secondary class, so that's why you see a lot of drama.
So the other thing I want to talk about is how to get around in a place like a big city like Nairobi. You know, if you're new to a place and you find out that you have orientational issues, like it's hard for you to like identify the place you're from. Let's say your hotel room is in River Road, and you're going to like the other side of the city. You know, maybe you're going to Jomo Kenyatta, and you know very well you may forget, because you can actually forget. So one of the things you should do is, first of all, when you're going to leave your hotel, create a pin. Create a pin and save it somewhere, or just remember the name, you know, so that when you're coming back, all you have to do is just get your pin or put in the name of the place on Google Maps and find your way back home. That's if you're literally you're moving alone, you know. You have to really be cautious about like orientation when you're a solo traveler like me, you know, because you don't wanna, because you can leave your property in the hotel room and then you can't find your way back, and it's gonna be a disaster. You're going to have the worst time of your life, because let's say you've left your passport in there, you've left your ID, maybe you have like your person who has some medical conditions. You don't want to leave your stuff like away like that. So make sure, if you don't have like good orientational sense, just take some precautions, you know. Make sure you can find yourself back to where you came from.
How do you find Nairobi? Nairobi is organized. That's all I can say. I think it's very this is now to the airport. This is now Eastern Bypass. That's from here. What I like about Uganda is food is good. Food. You guys are very nice food.
Restaurants for me in Uganda are usually like they're usually like on the lower floor. So restaurants are kind of independent. You have like, okay, we have a lot here, but in Kenya, most of them are like on the first floor, not like the lower floor, you know.
So right now I'm just waiting for my breakfast in this restaurant, and as you can see out of the window, that's exactly out of the restaurant. This is my view out of the restaurant. So I've ordered for milk with chocolate, chapati, and 2 samosas. Yeah, then I can get on with the day, show you guys more stuff going on in the city. But as you can see, it's a very busy city. Guys here, they're up to that bag, they're up for the bag, you know. So today I'm wearing a blazer, very cute little blazer, classy. My shirt, my Wano shirt.
In Uganda, the ones I know maybe Uhuru, right in town. So like Uhuru, like that, or Park and Kademoro, there's that restaurant there also. So most of them are literally similar to that kind of setting, like on the first floor or even higher. One downside to my meals in Nairobi is only the chicken, because I'm a person who likes eating chicken, and I must say the chicken is not there according to the taste that I have and what I always have like back home. I don't know if it's because of the way they cook or anything, but I just reached a point and I preferred to have like the vegetarian meals instead, you know, because the beans were good. Then they would have a little salads and stuff. That kept me going literally. The only time that I ever had like meat or chicken that was actually nice is when I went to a supermarket actually, and honestly that was really nice. So for the restaurants, I'm not gonna give you a high rating, because especially on the meat side, but the food generally was nice, just that the chicken part of it, please, if they can do something about that. Okay, it was like drier and stuff like that. It wasn't just there. It wasn't there.
So this Eastern Bypass is going towards Thika Road. Thika Highway, the biggest highway.
Yeah.
Probably in Kenya.
Jomo Kenyatta Airport.
These are joints, people having fun. It's weekend. This is now northern bypass.
It's more systematic in Nairobi. The streets are wider. The roads are literally all tarmac. These buildings, these blocks of buildings, you know, in the city, there are roads all over the place, and they're just surrounded by tarmac roads. But also there's greenery, like there are trees planted in between. So this really makes Nairobi look good. But also, like as I've said, the skyscrapers. My God, there's so many. You know, I was like, what the hell is going on? I thought I was like in some New York City street. You know, so that for Nairobi, then that was amazing. I mean, I wish for something like that back home here. You know, but let's see how things happen. You know. Find a way of being kind of social with people, especially who are around you. The receptionist, talk nice to these people, you know. Give a tip if you can give a tip. Like if you get off like the bus or the plane or whatever, like talk to people, you know, other than acting strange to people. Like, and also the other thing is move like a local, you know. Don't try to be all unique and stuff like that. You want to try to blend in with the society you're getting into. Let's say in the place you're going to, people don't really dress that fancy. You don't want to be so outstanding, you know. But also if you're going to a place where people really dress up, come on, try to match up the game, you know. Try to at least dress so nice. Try to get your haircut and all that. Be graceful, be kind to people, be nice, you know, because it's a good thing. People, you never know what happens. If you're nice to a person, maybe if something is happening to you or is going to happen to you, they can save you. Let's say you're walking in a ghetto, and the time you entered, you got into the ghetto, you were showing off, you're not being nice, you're being arrogant, and people are going to try to steal from you. Maybe this person would have told them not to do it, and then you're arrogant to them, they just let you know, or they can even insinuate that something to happen to you. So that's my advice to you, and thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Stay tuned, there are upcoming videos from other places. So again, if you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe, like this video, and share with a good friend, and see you in the next video.